Okay, who wouldn't want this phone? I mean, seriously, let me tell you just 7 things about this that might actually blow your mind. For example, look at this picture, and if I zoom in, you can see each individual hair strand on this lady. It's absolutely crisp and sharp. I mean, I don't know of any other phone that can do that. And just look at some of the other portrait shots that I took. The detail, the quality. I mean, you'll have a hard time telling which one is from a phone and which one is from a DSLR. Third, this phone has the largest display amongst all the other flagships that we know of. And it's the only one with a curved display that gives you an absolute bezel-less experience. Fourth, it's the only phone with a quad camera setup that has all 4 as 50 megapixel sensors, including a dual periscope lens setup. And I don't think any of the other smartphones have a camera setup quite like this one. Fifth, it shoots incredibly stable 4K videos. I was absolutely amazed at how shake-free, smooth and stable the footage is from this phone. Sixth, it's got an alert slider here that not only changes your ring mode but also gives you access to VIP mode that immediately shuts off your mic, camera and location for extra level of privacy when you need it. And lastly, it's all available at a price that's so incredibly competitive that it makes you wonder if you should get one of the other flagship smartphones or not. Now, you might think that this is a paid video or just that I'm exaggerating too much. No, I actually really wished that this phone was launched in India. So guys, it's the OPPO Find X7 Ultra, and these were just the highlights. There's just so much more about this phone that you'd have to stick around to understand. And to start with, the design. Look, I won't lie. Of course, the first thing that really catches your attention is that big camera setup. It makes the device top heavy, and when it's resting on the table, it does have that significant incline. But you know, I've been using it for over a month now, and while initially it felt a little different, but now I think I'm comfortable with it. But this vegan leather bag is really something. I mean, every time you pick it up, you're reminded just how premium it is. And truly, the curved back and the front, it just sits in your hand super well. And you know, that's the reason that despite being a big device with a heavy camera unit, it actually feels good in the hand. Also, it does have what I think is the largest display on any flagship. It's a 6.82-inch screen and it's curved, so no doubt it's got that bezel-less viewing experience. And as you'd expect from a flagship, it supports HDR content, it's got a 120Hz LTPO display, it's also super bright, and so outdoor visibility is as good as you'd expect, and by the way, it's protected using Gorilla Glass Victus 2, so it's super durable. And speaking of durability, it's also IP68 water and dust resistant. So you know, think about it, the materials, the design, the build, the display, it actually checks all boxes, and I couldn't really find anything to complain about, except maybe just one thing. It is a little on the heavier side, and some of you might actually find this bulky. But you know, it's got a lot happening inside, and I actually don't prefer very light and slim devices. I mean, I just find them a little difficult to grip, and they don't feel very solid. This one, I just really like it. Now, you know, the other thing is how companies like Google and Samsung are really pushing the AI agenda on their phones, right? Well, this one already has a couple of that baked in along with ColorOS. For example, removing objects from a photo is really effective. I mean, you could just circle around the object you want to remove, and the phone very accurately just removes them. And honestly, I was amazed at how good it was. Then there's the capability to simply long press a subject in your image and, you know, store it for later use as a sticker or something. Then there's also Adreno Touch. So if you want to extract text from an image, you could take a screenshot, tap on Adreno Touch and just select the text, copy, and you can paste it anywhere else. Now, one of the real cool things is it's got something called as AI Link Boost. You know how you're in parking lots or basements or the elevator, or even when you're stuck in traffic, you tend to get really weak signals, right? There's call drops and stuff like that. Chances are that with this, you'll actually have a boosted signal and a more stable network. And there's also a meeting booster that boosts network signal in case of any lag in the meeting. There's also an AI call summarizer. So let's say you've had a long discussion over a call, the phone will summarize your call into minutes of meeting using AI. But you know, in addition to all of this AI stuff, I think ColorOS is still very feature loaded. For example, one of my favorite features is File Dock. Just the ability to quickly drag things and put them here as if it's a clipboard and just access it all later, I think is really useful. The phone also has clear voice functionality that makes your voice stand out to the other person on the phone, and it works on all the calling apps. And just like all the other flagships, OPPO offers 4 years of OS upgrades and 5 years of security updates on this, so built for long term. Now, when it comes to performance, take a look. If you notice the raw performance first by looking at these benchmark scores, by comparing it to other flagships, you'll see it's in the same ballpark zone, essentially a 2 million plus score. So it's really no surprise that the phone performs well and it stacks right up with the best of other flagships. Even for gaming, it was very impressive. The games load fast, the gameplay is smooth, and I've actually gamed on this outdoors for long durations, and it doesn't get too hot. Now look guys, it isn't a gaming-centric phone. What I mean by that is that it won't run your games at extrapolated or boosted frame rates or increased resolution, but just still really enjoyable at stable 60 FPS. Now guys, one thing that I really noticed about this phone are the speakers. So obviously it's got stereo speakers, right? But they're quite nice, they're loud, and they have a bit of depth that generally other phones lack. And there's also support for Dolby Atmos, so you could choose a specific profile depending on what you're doing on the phone. But for everyday use, I absolutely enjoyed using the phone. Super smooth, super snappy, though I do feel that the animations on this phone could have been made a tad bit snappy to feel, even more snappy, but overall, still very enjoyable. But where this phone really outperforms most other flagships is with its cameras. What you have to understand is that this is a really top-notch camera system. So it's got a 50 megapixel 1-inch sensor as its primary, a 50 megapixel ultra-wide lens, and two more 50 megapixel periscope lenses, one at 3x and the other at 6x. And you'll also see the Hasselblad logo behind on the camera module because they partner with them for better color calibration and output. And except for the ultra-wide, all the other three lenses, they also have optical image stabilization. And guys, the 1-inch sensor on the primary lens, what it really means is that it can take in a lot of light, which basically implies that you'll have really good low light photos and videos. So let's say it's nighttime, you're at a party or you're just walking down the street with your friends, this is the camera phone that you're gonna want. And just look at some of these images. I mean, I know for a fact that most other Android flagships really struggle with taking shots that are in such dark conditions. And this applies to video as well. The 4K footage at night, well, you can see for yourself. There's no shake, there's no focus hunting, it's handling the bright areas with the lights really well. Overall, really nice. But for me, personally, I think the periscope lenses are the real game changers on this. I mean, just the fact that you can shoot such incredible portraits from a distance with such clarity and detail and consistency is really something to appreciate. I use the portrait mode to click these pictures, and if you see the focus fall off, the colors, and even the balance between highlights, shadows, exposure, it's all so well done. But even the regular pictures taken using the primary lens were really good. I was just really pleased with the overall balance of shadows and highlights. The dynamic range was really on point. And I also like the fact that there was no aggressive sharpening. Even the skies, they were not like unnecessarily blue, but it captured them blue when they were actually blue. And even when speaking of colors of different subjects, I think it was pretty accurate. Like the yellow here was so on point. All of these different neon colors that you see, the grass over here, the blue of the van, all of this was so well captured. It's really good. And the zoom capabilities on this phone are also quite nice. Like here, if you see, as I try to zoom into the top part of the building, the clarity and the details are seriously nice. I mean, just go ahead and download these photos. I'm going to leave a link in the description and you'll actually be able to evaluate this for yourself. I mean, okay, so I'm just going to go and zoom in on that phone number and just look at that. Amazing. I think the only thing I felt missing from the entire camera experience was the ability to shoot portrait videos. I mean, given the fact it's got Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, could have been added. Lastly, I want to touch upon the battery and charging. Look, first up, it comes with its own 100-watt charger in the box, and this phone also supports super fast wireless charging at 50 watts. And it also supports 10-watt reverse wireless charge. So, you can charge your accessories by just placing it right here. But then the battery performance is actually quite nice. Look, the capacity is the usual 5000 mAh, and I've been getting screen on times of about 8 to 9 hours on this on average. And I was really amazed at such good results. And then I realized it's actually because I was sitting indoors in Wi-Fi and in cooler environments, and I decided, let's go outdoors, spend some time in the heat, with 5G on. And even then, I was still getting about 6.5 to 7 hours of screen on time on this, which I think is at par with all the other flagships around. Look guys, I'm pleasantly surprised at how good OPPO has made this phone. And look guys, it's still got a lot of stuff that I still haven't talked about. For example, it's got Wi-Fi 7, which is faster, and it's got a better range. It's got Bluetooth 5.4, which also has better range and is more battery efficient. And it also has an IR sensor, so you can use that to control appliances that are otherwise remote controlled. I mean, it's packed with features and functionalities to the brim. But if there was one thing that I would like to change about this phone was just make it available everywhere else. So right now, this is only sold in China for about 6,000 yuan, which is roughly 70,000 rupees or under 1,000, maybe around $900. So if you do have friends in China, or if someone's just visiting China, you can just ask them to get this for you, and I assure you that you will not regret having this phone. The only caveat is that it's not going to have all the Google apps. So what I did was sideload Google Play Store and then just downloaded all the other Google apps like, Maps or Gmail or Drive. It works. Anyway, that's it guys about OPPO's Find X7 Ultra. If you guys still have any questions, thoughts, comments, let me know in the comment section and we can talk over there. But if you did enjoy watching the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification icon and mark all. Really helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.